We've talked a lot about the housing crisis facing Auckland on Checkpoint. A great deal of work on this last year. People living in cars, extended families crammed into small houses, and people paying enormous money, actually the taxpayer paying enormous money to house people in emergency hotel and motel accommodation. Tonight we want to take you 2 and a bit hours north of Auckland to a Whangarei motel where 2/3 of the tenants are on the Housing New Zealand waiting list. 2/3 of the tenants in the motel on the Housing New Zealand waiting list. Each room nearly $800 a week, paid for by WINZ, and the owner says most stay for around 2 months, all because there are no homes for them to go to, neither private homes nor state homes. Here is our reporter Zach Fleming with the story.
Janie Davis has been living in a Whangarei motel for 6 months because she can't find anywhere else to live. Paid for by Housing New Zealand, the bill is now nearing $40,000.
A number of times where I've even cried myself to sleep. But then I wake up the next day and, oh well, new day, start again.
In the past 20 years, Janie says she's lived in just 2 rentals. She left her previous one in September last year because after 8 years living there, the owner decided to sell up. Since then, she's called 2 rooms at the Kamo Motel home. In that time, Janie's been a high priority on Housing New Zealand's waitlist and says she has applied for more private rentals than she can count.
When I see an empty house, go put a sticker on it with your name and number and But nah, no phone calls from those ones.
Her situation is made difficult because she needs a large home, 4 bedrooms for her and her 6 children aged between 4 and 18, and a home close to her children's school. Her 2 oldest are in 7th form. But Janie is just one example of a larger problem, a severe housing shortage that is now affecting much of the country. At the Kamo Motel, its owner told me 8 of the 12 rooms are occupied by people waiting for a state house, their bill paid for by Housing New Zealand. Janie's friend Debbie, who also spent time in a motel while she was on the Housing New Zealand waitlist, says families of all sizes are struggling to find places to live.
People there that are working, that can't, so it's not just beneficiaries, it's working people as well.
Yeah.
But then you've got families at the motels that have got 2 kids, 1 kid. You know, it doesn't matter how many kids you've got.
Renee Shelford is one of those people. Housing New Zealand pays just under $800 a week for her and her 2 children to stay at the Kamo Motel. She's been there for a month, and like Janie, she has applied for dozens of private rentals.
They can keep paying for the rent and that here, but you know, who wants to live in a motel for the rest of their life with their children?
The Associate Deputy Chief Executive of Social Housing at the Ministry of Social Development, Kay Reid, said in a statement she appreciates Janie's situation is difficult and her options are limited, and until she finds a home, whether private or state, the Ministry will continue to ensure Janie's family has somewhere to live. In the meantime, Janie says she is trying to stay hopeful.
I try to have that hope. We just need our own space.
For Checkpoint, Zach Fleming.